Good day, students. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. The last time we met, we discussed on citizenship as a topic. There we talked about the meaning of citizenship. We looked at the various ways of acquiring citizenship. Talked about the rights of a citizen as well as the duties of a citizen. Now this is our second lesson for this session. Political parties. Very, very important topic in government. As a matter of fact, in every democracy or a democratic state, you must have one or two or more political parties. And that's why we describe the political party as one of the pillars of democracy. So it's an important topic, and we'll be looking at the meaning of political party. So at the end of this lesson, as a student, you'll be able to define what political party is. You'll be able to state the features of a political party, the characteristics, what and what you will see in a political association that will make you know that this one indeed is a political party. That are features. Now, we'll also be able to describe the types of political structure. I do know that students sometimes do mistake political structure for political parties, types of political parties. So you can see they are not the same. We have types of political structure. We also have types of political party. So you'll be able to differentiate them. Then another thing is that you'll be able to identify the functions of political parties. And finally, the types of political parties. Now let's start with the meaning of political party. How do we define political party? The political party is an organized group of people who have common political ideologies and the aim at contesting, winning, and controlling political power. Now here what we have on the board, we say political party could be defined as an organized group, it must be organized group of like-minded people, that is common political ideologies. Like-minded, they think alike when it comes to politics. And that is the reason why they could associate, they could be in the same party because they have common ideologies. Who seek to take control of government through the constitutional means. In every democracy, there is stipulation on how you can take over political power. And the election is the stipulated way, is the constitutional way by which any party or group of individuals can take over political power. We also say that it is a group of individuals with common political ideologies who seek to control the government machineries by contesting election. So this is the meaning of political party. Very simple. Group of individuals with common political ideologies aim at contesting, winning, and controlling political power. Now let's go to the features of political parties. What are those characteristics of political parties that if you see them in a political association, you will know that indeed this is a political party? The first one, we talk about the objective. Every political party has this objective to control political power. That is the essence, that is number one thing. Every political party has the desire, has the aim, the objective, the number one objective to control political power. The second one, they have party manifesto. Every political party has party manifesto. And in this party manifesto, you see their intention, their objective, their programs, what they want to achieve if they get to power. So it's in every political party. Every political party has party. Remember, we're talking about the features, the characteristics of political party. Now, the third one is that they always show loyalty to the electorate because they can secure political power. They can't achieve this aim of controlling political power without the support of the electorate. So they always show this loyalty, that we are loyal to the electorate, to the members of the public. If you only give us your mandate, we will serve you well. Always showing that readiness that they can serve. So it's also obtainable in every political party. Now, the next one is that they organize their membership across the state, the country. And the essence of doing this is to be able to get influence and to be able to get the support they need to secure political power. So every political party has that intention, to organize its membership across the state, not only across the state, even at all levels of government, starting from the ward level to the state level, to the local government level, state level, and at the national level. Okay, now let's go further. Political parties are made up of people with common political ideology. This one we know. It must be people that have like mind, that think alike when it comes to politics. They reason alike, common political ideologies. They use persuasion rather than force to achieve their aim. That is an important characteristic of political party. They don't force people to vote for them, to support them. Rather, they persuade people. They persuade people to get their support. And that is the only way they can win the confidence of the people. They can win the support of the people so that they can achieve this singular aim of controlling political power. Now, finally, minority political parties usually serve as opposition party. There are some political parties that are formed by the minority group. They may not have capacity to win election, but they will always serve the function of checking the excesses of the party in power, of the government in power. So we call them opposition party. All right, now let's go to the types of party structure. We have the caucus, we have the cell, we have the branches, we have the militia. These are types of party structure. Now look at the first one, the caucus. Let's go back. The caucus. Any party that organizes its structure according to this particular structure, type of structure or party structure, will always have an official group that is made up of very few members of the party, influential members of the party. The caucus, as it implies, is made up of few members of the party that can make decisions on behalf of the party. It is common in every political party that you have certain individuals, the heads, the top officials of the party, forming a caucus where they take decisions. They plan on how they will win elections, and they implement these decisions on behalf of the party. They are respected, they are influential. Is a type of structure. Now the second one, the cell. The cell is uncommon and it is not official. Any party that has this method, which is, as a matter of fact, it is not common, it's only common with communist states, socialist states that have communist political party, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 persons made up of fewer individuals, fewer officials, fewer than that of the caucus. They take secret decisions on behalf of the party and see to their implementation. So this one is not official, it's undemocratic, but it is obtainable only in communist and the socialist political parties. Now the third one is branches, which is also common. Political parties organize their membership in branches. They organize their membership across the state, the country. For example, using APC, PDP, there is no state you will go in Nigeria, you will not see the branch of APC or PDP. There is no local government you will go to, you will not see their branch, or even ward. That is branches. So it's a type of structure, party structure. Political parties organize their party in this manner so that they will get the support of the majority of the citizens, so that they will have influence so that they will be able to achieve their aim of winning an election. Because if they have more support, they will be able to win election. Now the last one, which is uncommon, is militia, that was organized by Adolf Hitler, as well as of Germany, as well as Benito Mussolini of Italy. These two persons organized what they called political party, as if it was a military organization. Gave them military training, the members military training. The hierarchy of the military was adopted. Discipline of military was also adopted. So it's an uncommon structure of political party, but we have to discuss it so that you have knowledge of that. Now let's go to the functions of political parties. These are the functions of political parties. The first one is that political parties educate the electorate through campaigns and rallies. You can see during the election period or during the electioneering, you see political parties organizing their campaigns, moving from one place to another, speaking and talking to people, organizing rallies. Through this process, they educate, they enlighten, they inform the members of the society. They talk to the electorate. They sell their manifesto. They speak to the people on the politics and the happenings in the country to be able to convince the people. So they educate the members of the electorate. The next one is that they arouse the interest of the citizen in politics. Through this campaign and rallies, they arouse the interest, they stimulate, they encourage people to come and they participate, to have interest. Without the activities of the political parties, many citizens will suffer what we call political apathy. They will not have interest in what we call politics. They will not come out to vote. But the political parties, having educated the members of the public, will encourage them, will arouse their interest in politics. Now the third one is that political parties aggregate the diverse interests and opinions of a large population. Is a common question in WAEC. They will ask you, that aggregates the diverse interests of the society. That is political party. We all have different interests. The Igbo people have their interests, the Yoruba people have their interests, the other people, the Fulani, they have their interests. But with a political party, it will aggregate, it will harness, it will be able to harmonize this diverse interest, and they present a common interest of this entire ethnic groups. That's what we mean by aggregation. So political party aggregates the diverse interests, opinions of a large population. They serve as a link or liaison between the people and the government. When government takes decision, makes a policy, the members of the public may not understand the policy. The party will come out to explain it to the people that this is what our government is doing, this is the intention of the government, this is what government will achieve at the end of the day. The same political party will also take the response of the people back to the government in power. So you can see it's a link. They hear from the people, they get the opinion of the people, and they take it to the government in power. They also hear from the government, and they return it back to the people. A link between the people and the government. Now, they promote political stability through recruitment of the politicians. If we do not have political parties, there is tendency of having, vacancy. But you see, these political parties we have are always ready to present candidates to recruit people into political positions. So that ensures, stability in our political system. Always ready. They're always ready to, present candidates who will contest for existing political positions, that there will be no vacuum at the end of the day. Now let's go further. They make available formulated policies and programs for government. There is no political party that if you call them, you call them today, they tell that they don't have a program, they don't have what they will do if they get to power. No, they have already existing formulated policy in terms of their party manifesto. So if they win election, if they get to power, they will be able to, implement what they have already formulated. And it helps government in power. Even the government that is in power today can make use of other political parties' manifesto, their plan, because already formulated policy. They can borrow from that and implement such policy. So government is not in want of what to do because policies are already there. During campaign, during the electioneering, they present all this manifesto to the hearing of the people. All right. Now, political parties promote national unity. For example, we have our national political parties like PDP and APC. If you check APC, you will see Yoruba people, we see outside people, we see Igbo people, we see people from over 260 ethnic groups in Nigeria as members. Now, these are people of different ethnic groups, people of different religion, different backgrounds. They are now in one political party. They share things in common. They have one political. So what political party does is that it promotes national unity. National unity. Very, very important that you know that. Now, the next one is that the opposition parties serve as a check to the government in power. Yes, those parties that didn't win election will be there to checkmate the excesses of the government in power. They do that maybe to their own interest. They want to, discredit government that is in power. But the truth of the matter is that what they do help to check the excesses of the government in power, to make the government in power to sit up and work in the interest of the people so that they can win election in the next election year. All right, now let's go to the types of political party. We have types of political. These are the basic types. If you open this book, you may see some other types like local party, but these are the basic types of political party. The first one is mass party. As the name suggests, mass party. Its membership is open. The type of political party that recruits its members from the various segments of the society. Whether you're a man or woman, whether you are poor or rich, whether you are educated or non-educated, it does not matter. So the membership is what? Open. That's what makes it mass. Mass party has open membership, recruits people from diverse background. They do not, discriminate when they are taking people, admitting people into the party. Now look at the opposite of that mass party. Elite party. Some also call it elitist party. Now this particular party discriminates when it comes to recruiting members of the party or admitting people into the party. And we say that it has closed membership. The requirement will be there. Maybe the requirement may be that you must be an educated person, have minimum of this qualification. So if you don't have it, you can't be a member. Or it may be that you must have a given level of income per annum. And if you don't have that, or you can't be a member. So they have their conditions of which you must satisfy before you become a member. And that's why it is called elite party. We have personality party. This type of party is run according to the political ideology of a given individual, maybe a man or woman. So in the spirit of that person, the party is run. For example, we have action group that was established, formed by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And if you're a Yoruba person, you claim that you are an Awoist and form political party, people will support you because they believe that you believe in the political ideology of Awolowo. So that is personality party. We have some parties that are personality party formed according to the political ideology of an individual person. And that particular person's political ideology is imbibed, is used, is implemented, is believed in by the entire members of that political party. Now, we have the religious party. This one is formed by people of the same faith. They belong to one religion. The qualification to join this type of political party is that you're also a member of that religion. So if you're not a member, you cannot join. It's an uncommon, very, very uncommon type of political party. In this dispensation where we run democracy, it is not acceptable. So it's uncommon. You may see it in some countries that practice something that is near democracy but not democracy. So that's just it. That is our lesson for today. As I've said before, now this is our second lesson. And we have been able to do justice to the concept of political party. Now, you are going to do the following assignments. Very simple. If you have followed this lesson, you can easily do this. Define a political party, explain the types of party structure, mention and explain the types of political party. And I hope you understood this lesson. Thank you very much for joining us.